Precilla Bernard never thought she'd be back in Belize with her tail between her legs. Once hailed as the Caribbean queen of fashion media in New York, she was now the woman whose fall from grace had become a trending hashtag. One drunken live video, just one, and everything crumbled. Her ex-fiancé had dumped her for a rising influencer. Her best friend turned on her to get a promotion. And the worst part? The fashion house she helped build released a press statement pretending they never knew her. It was a late night, after too many glasses of rum punch, that she'd gone live. A teary, slurred rant about the industry's racism, her cheating fiancé, and the backstabbing in high fashion went viral for all the wrong reasons. Within hours, screenshots were everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp. By sunrise, Precilla Problematic was trending. The board of her magazine held an emergency meeting. Her name was scrubbed from the masthead within 48 hours. Brands pulled sponsorships. Photographers refused to work with her. Doors she once strutted through now slammed in her face. She sat stiffly in the window seat of the Tropic Air flight bound for San Pedro, her Gucci sunglasses hiding eyes puffy from nights of crying. Her suitcase held designer dresses and old regrets. She wasn't going to Belize to vacation. She was crawling back to the only place she had left, home. Her mother, Lorraine Bernard, met her at the airport with a stony silence that said, "I told you so." She didn't have to say it. Precilla already felt like a fraud. Lorraine's hug was brief and unsentimental. She took the suitcase, muttered something about ruined potential, and drove off. As they passed the Belize River, the sights from her childhood rolled by, children playing with kites, vendors selling tamales, dogs barking by corner shops. Everything was the same, and yet she felt like she didn't belong. The colors were too bright, the people too whole, and she was broken. "You look thinner," Lorraine said quietly, her eyes never leaving the road. "Stress diet. All the rich girls are doing it." Her mother didn't laugh. Precilla curled into herself. Silence filled the car like fog. Later that night, she sat on her childhood bed, staring at old posters, her framed high school valedictorian award, and a cracked mirror. Her phone buzzed. Messages from reporters, old colleagues, her ex. She powered it off. 2 weeks later, dressed in a modest navy pencil skirt and silk blouse, Precilla stepped into the open-concept lobby of Suga, Belize's trendiest digital lifestyle company. Her mother had insisted she apply. "A woman like you can't sit around crying in my house," she said. Suga was a storm of bright walls, ring lights, and influencers live streaming every second of their lives. A DJ was spinning soft soca beats in the break area. The scent of hair product and pepper shrimp lingered in the air. Sandra Mejia, the company's founder and editor-in-chief, was Belizean media royalty. Sharp bob, sharper tongue. She wore all white and carried herself like she was walking through the pages of Vogue. Her office was covered in crystal paperweights, Fashion Week passes, and a framed photo of her shaking hands with Oprah. "You were the talk of New York last year," Sandra said, scrolling through Precilla's portfolio. "Now you're here, hoping nobody recognizes you at Brody's." Precilla swallowed. "I'm here to work." "Then prove it. 6 months. You write. You direct. You don't scandalize. Clear?" "Crystal." She was given a small desk near the back, next to the equipment closet and the editing suite. The team whispered about her. One junior editor, Marcia, gave her a fake smile and muttered, "She used to be somebody." Precilla bit her tongue. This was her fresh start. She wouldn't mess it up. She pitched stories about forgotten Belizean artisans, carnival costume makers, and single mothers building beauty businesses from their verandas. Sandra approved the ones that would go viral. "We need clicks, not charity," she reminded her. She met him during her first week. He was behind the camera filming a lifestyle segment about the best cassava pudding spots in San Pedro. He moved like he belonged in a Calvin Klein commercial. Broad shoulders, quiet confidence, light brown skin, neat locks, and a crooked smile that could melt metal. "You're the fallen queen," he said, handing her a boom mic with a grin. "Excuse me?" "Just saying. You don't look like a girl who settles for background work. And you don't look like someone who minds their business." He laughed. "I'm Richard, content lead. Welcome to Sugar. Miss Bernard." She rolled her eyes, but couldn't help smiling. That name, the way he said it. Later that day, he offered her lunch, salbutes from a street vendor. They ate on the balcony, the breeze lifting her spirits. He listened without judgment. He didn't bring up the scandal. He just saw her. One night after a shoot, they went to Secret Beach. They sat barefoot in the sand, drinking Bellikins and sharing childhood stories. He spoke of losing his dad to cancer. She spoke of losing herself in fame. "Your eyes are sad," he said softly. "They didn't used to be," she replied. They worked together often. First it was editing, then shoots, then late-night planning. The chemistry grew undeniable. They laughed too much, shared snacks, spoke in glances. One night during a carnival rehearsal shoot, it began to rain. They rushed into the storage closet, drenched, breathless, laughing. "You know this can't happen," she said, brushing water from her collar. "Why not?" "Because I'm your boss." "You're not, technically. We're equals." "I'm older." "Good. I like women who know things." He kissed her, slowly, carefully. She melted into him. For once, she felt weightless. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her heart raced. Something about him didn't add up. He had access, respect, and the freedom to challenge Sandra. Was he more than just a content lead? The next morning, she asked Marcia, "Who exactly is Richard?" Marcia hesitated. "He's just close to Sandra. Real close." The following Monday, she stepped into Sandra's office and froze. Richard was there, laughing, sharing mango slices with Sandra. "Precilla, you remember my son, Richard?" Her stomach sank. Your son?" Sandra smiled. "My baby. He begged me not to say anything so he could earn his way." Richard looked at her, apologetic, proud, calm. Her blood turned cold. Everything they'd shared, real or a ploy. Did he target her to climb? They met that evening by the marina, where the moonlight shimmered on the water like liquid silver. Precilla wore her emotions like armor, flashing eyes, rigid posture. Richard leaned against a boat post, arms folded. "You should have told me," she said flatly. "You would have walked away." "Exactly." "So you wanted truth, but only the kind you could control?" His words hit harder than she wanted to admit. She turned, but he caught her wrist gently. "Everything I said to you, everything we shared, that was real. Then why does it feel like a setup?" He let go. "Because you don't trust anyone anymore, not even yourself." She stormed off, but his voice echoed behind her. "You're scared to be loved without condition, Precilla. That's your real problem." She didn't sleep that night. She replayed every moment, every look. Had she sabotaged herself again? 2 weeks passed. Precilla buried herself in work. She avoided Richard. He gave her space. But tension hummed in every meeting. Then it happened. Marcia burst into the office holding her phone. "Precilla, you need to see this." A blurry photo, Precilla and Richard, mid-dance at the staff retreat, was plastered across a gossip blog. The caption read, "Disgraced editor sleeps her way back to the top." Comments exploded. Memes. Hashtags. Again. Sandra called her in. Her fury was a storm contained in a white linen suit. "This is your mess. You brought scandal into my brand." "I didn't leak that. I didn't." "You think people care about the truth? You're done here." Precilla left Sugar with her box of things and a thunderstorm raging inside her. She retreated to Dangriga, to her Aunt Mirabelle's seaside guest house. The house was old, with creaky wooden floors and hammocks on the porch. Aunt Mirabelle cooked fish stew every Sunday and said little. "Talk when you're ready," she told Precilla. Precilla slept, read, walked the beach. Then, one day, she picked up her laptop. She wrote, and kept writing. Stories of Belizean women. Hidden beauty, power behind the curtain. She called the blog Precilla B. She shared one story, then another. It spread like wildfire. Emails poured in, women thanking her, men admitting they never saw things that way before. Sponsors reached out. Collaborators begged for features. The pain had birthed purpose. 6 months later, Precilla B was the #1 independent platform in the Caribbean. She returned to Belize City for the Creator Awards Gala. She wore a custom gown made by a seamstress she once featured. Richard was there, watching from the crowd. She stepped on stage to accept her award. "I was once called washed up, broken, irrelevant. But pain doesn't end you. It introduces you to your true voice. Thank you for helping me find mine." The applause was thunder. Richard met her backstage. "You glowed," he said. "I found my light." He reached for her hand. She didn't pull away. Later that week, a private message appeared in her inbox. Anonymous. Encrypted. The leak wasn't Sandra. Check the IP address in your Google Docs settings. Someone close to you wanted you out. Her heart pounded. She checked. The address traced back to her mother, Lorraine. Confrontation came fast. "Why?" Precilla asked, tears brimming. "Because I knew if you failed here, you'd stay. You always ran when things got hard. I couldn't lose you again. You humiliated me. To hold me hostage? I was scared. You outgrew us. I wanted to matter again." Precilla wept, and then she hugged her. It hurt, but it healed. On a moonlit beach in San Pedro, lanterns floated in the sky. Richard knelt on one knee. "Precilla Bernard, will you write our next story together?" She smiled. "Only if I get editorial control." They laughed. She said yes. The waves clapped. Fireworks exploded overhead. Not for a holiday, but for love, for legacy, for a woman who fell, shattered, and rebuilt herself stronger than before. Your downfall isn't your ending. It's your invitation. When you lose everything, you finally get to choose who you want to become. And when love finds you after the storm, don't run. Receive it. Build something from it. Because sometimes the wreckage is where the treasure was buried all along. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this video with someone who needs a second chance today. More Caribbean love stories are coming your way, straight from Belize to your screen.